So, hi, everyone. Thank you for coming. My name is Tran. I'm an energy advisor here at Hawaii Energy, and I'm happy to present our program to you and everyone that's on the call. So, as you all know, our state has made a commitment to achieve 100% clean energy by 2045. It's a very uh, great goal to have. It's a very lofty goal. At Hawaii Energy, we believe that we can get there faster and cheaper with energy efficiency and help our families in Hawaii here. Hawaii Energy is here to help make smart energy choices. So our mission is to empower island families and businesses to make smart energy choices to reduce energy consumption. And those choices are, use less energy, install energy efficient equipment, which I'll cover in a couple minutes. So Hawaii Energy is developed and programmed by pillars, and we have three main focuses. One is clean energy technology. The second is accessibility and affordability. And the third one is economic development. So clean energy technology is basically all technologies that will save energy, like energy efficient AC, window film, LED light bulbs, motors, transformers. Accessibility and affordability is the opportunity to have underrepresented markets targets are represented and to participate in the program. An example, small business owners, low-income housing. Those are the people that usually don't have the means and opportunity, so we try to reach out to them to help them as well. And economic development, webinars such as these, we do have a lot of training every year, a lot of certifications, SEM certifications, BOC certifications. We do a lot of webinars. Pre-COVID, we used to do a lot of lunch and learns. So we're out there in the community educating people about energy efficiency. So who can participate in our program? So basically, how Ronald was saying in the beginning, that the way we are funded is through a HECO utility bill. So anyone that pays a bill on Oahe, Lanai, Maui, Molokai, and Oahu, Kauai has their own co-op, so they're not participating in this program. So I believe the funds is dedicated about 1.5% of each utility bill is put into a program funded to help Hawaii. So why do we do this? One of the reasons why I like this slide, because we were talking about oil. As you can see by the first bar, Hawaii is very dependent on fossil fuel to generate electricity compared to the other 49 states that are very diversified on how to generate electricity. So one of the things we try to do is we're trying to limit the amount of oil that is sent here and used for energy generation. One of the reasons why, one of the things why we use a lot of oil is how our electricity rates are higher than the nation. As you can see here, that Hawaii is 33 cents per kWh, and on average, I believe across the nation is about 13 cents. So I'm not sure if you can see the states, but some people pay, in Washington, 9 cents per kWh, which is like 3 times less than ours. So it's very important for us to reduce that oil. This is a great slide. This slide shows the energy pyramid. Basically, on the bottom, if the first tier, what we need to do is we need to conserve. If you don't need to use it, don't use it, shut it off. And if you have to use it, be energy efficient about it. Use it smart, like energy star equipment, AC, anything that reduced energy. And then the third thing, a lot of people like solar, renewable energy. And when we tell buildings, I work with the commercial sector, when we tell them that if they're going to use solar, do tier 1 and tier 2 first, because if they reduce their energy usage, then if they still want solar, the investments can be a lot less. So that's like one of the strategies that we like to implement. We all know that buildings in Hawaii account for 40% of the total energy usage here. That's even more than transportation and the industry sector. And this slide here shows the typical commercial building, the percentage that's broken down by energy usage, and over 50% is lighting and cooling. So those are the two areas where we try to focus on, where you get the most bang for your buck if you do retrofit with LED lighting and upgrading HVAC system. So how do we incentivize people? So like I said earlier, we provide rebates, and this is not tax credits. These are actually rebates. They actually get a check in the mail for installing energy efficient equipment. Uh, there's several things that we rebate. Transformers, water heater, electric vehicle charging stations, whole building assistance, which in HVAC, which I'll get into a little bit later. Lighting, of course, pumps and motors, submetering. As you can see, we have a lot. Kitchen equipment, building envelope, which is window film, and customized projects. Customized projects are basically projects that, if they're not on a prescriptive list, and you can prove that the technology that you're installing does save energy, we will actually ask for calculations, and we will provide a custom rebate if we feel that it does save energy. This rebate summary sheet, I know it's kind of small to see, but you can get this on our website. It basically just runs down every technology that we provide rebates for, how much, and what qualifies for a rebate. We also have a program called Energy Advantage. This program specifically targets small businesses and nonprofit organizations and restaurants. For a while, this program was free for all participants. Basically, what we do is we have a handful of contractors that go in and retrofit lighting for no cost or low cost, and that's very, very important for small businesses because day to day they're trying to make ends meet. The last thing on their mind is what their lights look like, but at the same time they're still paying their utility bill. So if we can go in there and help them upgrade their lighting practically free, it will actually save them at least a good 30 to 45% on the utility bill for the lighting itself. Electric vehicle charging stations, we do provide rebates for those. Right now, I think for level 2 charging stations, if it's a retrofit, meaning there's an old station there and you just upgrade it, we pay $3,000 per unit. And if it's a new installation, we pay $4,500 per unit. So the dual port units. I know there's something in Ledge right now that says that they want to incentivize single port EV stations, so we're looking at that very closely. And also fast charging stations, of course, it'll cost companies more to install those, so our incentives are a little bit larger. So for new installations, it's about $35,000, and for retrofits, it's about $28,000.
Hey, Hoang, two things.
Yes.
So with all this funding, you're not depending on grants, let's say, from the state of Hawaii, not dependent on grants from the Federal Department of Energy. These are all programs that are funded from Hawaiian utility bills.
Yeah.
And so it's almost a sense of you're already paying for this in some small percentage. So every organization should absolutely take advantage of this because everyone is already paying for this in some small way already, and you just want to be the one who takes full advantage. What I'd also suggest somewhat, if you could again, I'm not sure anyone else, if you could bring the microphone a little bit closer to yourself so we can hear some of your great insightful comments more easily, that would be great.
Okay, sorry about that. The next program we have is new construction and major renovations. So we have two models that we're incentivizing. The first model you see in green is called the energy model. So what this program is set up to do is set up to incentivize building owners when they first build a building to build it to not just code, but to a higher performance building. So what we try to do is we try go from the beginning of the pipeline to say, hey, if we can sit down with your designers and see if they can give you a couple options, your code option and your high performance option, we will pay you $5,000 just to make that design. And then we'll pay you another $1,000 to the designer and to the customer just to see the presentation. So that hopefully incentivizes people just to see options. Our current, I say about 90% of the time, what we do is we do a system approach, which is that if a building's already spec'd out, already designed, we just basically look at the plans and see if the equipment will qualify for our rebate. So of course, we want to move into the green section so we can get ahead of the curve to kind of make sure that people are designing a more energy efficient building. And you can see here the numbers that I just talked about a second ago. So I think the last thing I want to talk about is a power move demand saving bonus program that we have. If you guys are not aware that the AES power plant is probably going to go offline this year, and it supplies about 50% of the island electricity. So the PUC asked us to come up with a program to kind of reduce peak hour times from 5 to 9 o'clock to reach out to customers, commercial sectors, schools, just large energy users to see if they can reduce their energy use between the 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock hour. And doing so, we will provide a rebate of 400 kW saved. Right now, our current rate is $125 per kW saved. We're going to increase that to $400. And that's roughly about 20 to 25% increase in a rebate that you would normally get. So we do need pre-approval for this, but I do believe this is a great program to have. I know a lot of, we have about 13 right now in a pipeline to execute this program. So if you know any customers that can reduce their peak time, please send them our way. And then that's the end of my presentation. So if there's any questions in the chat or if you have anything, feel free to answer your questions.
Do you maintain a large staff of consultants and experts who have to not only evaluate these projects, but also share their wisdom and expertise throughout the islands?
We do. We do have a core of engineers staff that analyzes new products that come through the market to see if it's something that we want to incentivize. And we do also partner with other companies that I think an Element Accelerator that we do consult with to see if there's any other technology out there that we can incentivize.